Is that what 11 is?
Yeah.
We're
Double tooth. Yeah, hockey sticks. HE double hockey sticks.
Oh, that
right?
That's L.
It's the LL.
I am so Catholic. I was raised Catholic. I'm not anymore. But we used to say HE double hockey sticks, and then to go, we're getting the hallway.
For spelling it?
Oh, yeah. You couldn't spell.
That's where you're going. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Box seats. Would you join me in hell?
100%.
I live in hell. What do you mean I'm in it now?
We are all living in hell.
That's what we're talking about today on podcast number 11. The question is,
how do you handle a toxic person?
Oh, and getting rid of a toxic person is hard.
Getting rid of, right. Handling, right? Handle, however that is, because I had to phrase it like that because I want to hear how you handle it, because you're talking about getting rid of and I talk about handle, because I'm not very good at getting rid of people.
And I'm a ghoster. And I'll tell you that, that's not right. You're like, no, but
This is why you never call me back.
No, I knew that was, no. And I'll slowly, gradually, because I'm a wuss too. I would rather, I'll get to the point. But first, this is Two Michelle's
One Question podcast.
And welcome to it. And if you have any question ideas, this is where we tackle one question.
Yes.
One question. And if you have any question ideas, please comment. Tell us, get a hold of us.
Yeah.
We're on every social.
We're on
our TikTok is crushing it.
Well, yeah, that's because you're in charge of it.
It's not. I see that our Instagram's doing very well, though. I love our Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not bad for, I guess, this amount of time. It's fine.
I was a boomer situation, though, on it the other day. I was trying, you can't copy. You can't copy a video off Instagram and save it. You can on TikTok, but you can't on Instagram.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I know.
It's
too many. I need a.
That's why I focus on one and you focus on one, because
this is true.
We can't.
Because together we'd be like, all right. Today's question is, how do you handle toxicity, like a toxic person or somebody who's just a taker? Yeah.
And there are a lot of people, and I have several problems here. I'm a people pleaser. I don't want people to not like me. I'm getting better as I get older.
Mm-hmm.
But so I feel like toxic people want to be with.
You're a toxic people. You're a magnet for toxic. I'll tell you that not like me thing, that it just about a year ago. I would like to say when I turned 50, I didn't know. About a year ago, it's gone. What you think of me is none of my business. And people would say it and I go, yes, it is. And by the way, you and I both are in businesses. We get paid. Listen to this, people. We get paid based on likability. So if you like me, I get more money the more you like me. That's effed up. We're an effed up job. The more, in fact, we used to get we get ratings bonuses. So the more people listen, we get paid for, if you like us. That twists with you.
Oh, for sure. Right.
Yeah.
That's a direct impact.
Yeah.
So yes, you want everyone to like you, but
right.
But now people like
care.
you, and I think people like authenticity, and in our business too, that says something. If you're authentic, I think people gravitate toward it. But to get paid for, TV doesn't work that way. I mean, you move up based on how, good you are, and ratings count, but it's not a direct.
But the show that you do this great show, and you interview a lot of people, you have to be liked. If you're not if I don't like you, I'm not watching that show. I don't like how you interview people. If I don't like, so it is, it's a show. You're putting on a show. Even as an anchor, you are performing. You really are.
Yeah. And a lot of my personality does come out in our show too. And it's a little different than anchoring, whereas you're just reading things, but it is, You're right. You're not wrong. But I want to hear your epiphany and how because it does come with age and wisdom, and how you just develop that.
I stopped. The way that I can get rid of a toxic person is I stopped caring. It used to bother me. Oh, I didn't call him back, or I didn't. Oh my God, or that person is, or I made her hurt or feel bad, or if I say no, she might think this, or if I say no, they might think this. That I'm done with that now. It's like, it's funny. I had an instance. I'll just say it. My brother called me and he said, a friend of mine was saying this about me and it's crap. And this is just the other day.
Your brother was telling you about something someone was saying about you?
No, about him. About him. And he goes, how would you handle it? And I said, none of your business. And he goes, whoa. And I go, listen, it's none of your business. Who cares? It's that him saying that about you is only about him. And it's only about his merits, how he can get flowers or stickers or whatever you call it, stars from another person, and how good he wants to make it. It's nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you.
That is true.
Yeah.
It is so hard to keep that in your head, though.
It's really hard. It gets easier, though. It gets easier. Yeah. I used to lie awake. You find out what's important to you and what you like to do, especially in a life of giving. In a life of being a parent, when your kids are gone, you find out what do I want now? What's good to me? What's interesting to me?
You got to figure that out.
And basically,
right?
It's laying in bed with my dogs watching TV. Like that's what I like to do. That's my joy. That's my joy. And if you're going to infringe on that, but I also love, and you'll be selective about who you do spend time with. That's the other thing.
I am noticing that. I mean, because your time is valuable and it's a limited amount. You don't have time forever. So where you spend it and who you spend it with makes such a difference. But it impacts you and how you feel every single day.
I know it.
And so, gosh, be choosy. And I think my dealing with toxicity, I was trying to think of how I do this. And I'm like Homer Simpson backing into the bushes. That's how I deal with toxic people. I'm like, I'm just going to slowly back away and just put space. And
that's, you will, here's the problem with that. Here's the good thing about that. That's what I do too. I try that first. I'm going to leave some space for a minute. And if you're still knocking on my door, now I have to get the last time I did a sit down, I don't like your actions when you're with me thing, the person sobbed and sobbed and sobbed. But I felt terrible. But I also just said, it's not that I don't love you. It's that I can't be around you when you're like this. Now, I'll talk to you all day long about your problems. I'll sit and listen to that crap all day long. I will. I don't care about that. But it's when you're taking, like, I have a friend who will like to talk about their problems, and that's great. I will, but then has to drink every time. And I can't, then by the end of it, I can't reason with you and I can't be around it. I can't, it irks me. It's like I'm a free pass to drink. And
you're not even a drinker.
Oh, not at all. I don't even have booze at my house. Like I have booze at my house. I guess I do. But I mean, like, I don't serve. I mean, like a spritzer. Like I'm just
so. You did offer me wine, and I did come have wine at your house.
I did. That was that was a Friday evening. I feel like
outside with a little charcuterie.
Or Thursday evening. That was really nice. That was fun. But like I'll do that, and I don't mind that. But to get drunk because you have your on me with me. Well, that's not fun.
No, and you are a good listener and you are a great friend. And so that person is go find another drunk to go hang out with at the bar and go drink with them.
Yeah, that's what I think. So I had to have that. I call it the CTJ, the come to Jesus. I had to have that conversation that just said, I can't do this. I mean, I can't. I think it's a bigger issue. I think the person has to completely quit. I think alcoholism might run in their family and they have to quit or whatever, whatever. But that's not for me. That's not,
right. You can't tell someone that, right? I mean,
and the other thing that's hard about being around a toxic person is I'm just having a lights going on right now. One of my closest friends she's not toxic, but it was hard to be with her when she was unhappy. And it's hard to be with her until and you can't tell her, and I can't tell her, get away from this, do this, because we're at a place where we can tell each other things. But it wasn't until she got happier with herself that she's way more fun to be with. She's always fun to be with. We laugh a lot, but this was.
Well, and my other thing too is people who are just constantly negative, who are just meh, and who just talk about people. I have that issue too. I'm like, I don't care about all these people. I don't want to talk about that. It does not matter to me. I don't know who you're even talking about. I don't know.
I heard about, I had an epiphany too about gossip. Gossip is a way that people bond, and it's trashy. It's a trashy way to bond people. Like, for instance, I was down in Mexico with our guest last week, Rachel. And Rachel and I are walking, and like, I'll say something like, I can't believe, the butts. There's a lot of butts and boobs in Mexico. There's a lot of butts and boobs. There are the butt bathing.
Amen.
Suit. And I'll go right.
It's
and
hot. Take your clothes off.
Right. And so I'll go, I can't believe that. Like, she can pull that suit off. I could never do that. And she'd start laughing because it's the same exact what she was thinking. The same thing. Like, we bonded in talking about, not necessarily trashing, but talking about somebody, a third party.
that's not talking about them. Like, that's not like sitting, you guys work together talking about your coworkers and being like, well, that bitch, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
That's, just being like, I couldn't pull that. You're talking about yourself.
Yeah.
Like, that's your own,
Sometimes we'll do that though, too. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes.
We all end up going down that slippery slope.
But it's also, but we think alike. Like she'll go, oh my God, I was just going to say that. You know exactly what I'm thinking. Or my sister goes, you guys, we're going to go to this beautiful city. And we go, and it was not a beautiful city. It was a cool little town, but it wasn't a beautiful city. And I looked at Rachel and we're walking. All of a sudden I went, where's the beautiful city? And she goes, oh my God, that's exactly what I was thinking. So, I mean, you can bond in trashing things and other people, but yeah, because the gossip is, but also insecure people gossip.
To make themselves build themselves up. Yeah. For some reason, they feel like taking somebody else down makes them better. Yeah. And I'm like, that is absolute nonsense and silly. But people feed into that and people do that.
How do you handle it? So let's do a sample here. So I'm your coworker and you like Cindy and Cindy works with you. And I come in and I go, Cindy is oh
my God.
Did you see those boots that Cindy had on? Trash. And not only that, I heard that Cindy is so competitive. Like Cindy probably is the one who took my stapler. I mean, I can't even believe it. Like
how took my swing line stapler.
Like, how do you handle that? Like you though, do you go, oh my God, hard. Or do you just smile and nod?
No, I don't. I don't probably fight it as hard as I should. And I guess it depends on who's saying it.
Yeah.
If it's somebody that I'm like, whatever.
She's trash.
Like,
right. You're right. Cindy is trash.
Right?
No, I know, but yeah.
Those boots are terrible.
Yeah.
And I don't get a ton of that, like, I mean, I work with a dude. So he doesn't talk about, he's telling me about his life.
Boys are dumb. They don't gossip. Right. They're not stupid.
No, he's not. You've ever been on somebody's boots.
It's surface. It's everything surface. Ugh.
He actually does dive deep. I mean, but we're on a different level. It's, when you sit next to when you sit next to someone for years and you're stuck there, you have a different kind of relationship. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful he's a guy because I don't want that catty bullshit.
Right. Right.
I like.
So will you say, because I have you like smiling and nodding or saying, oh, Cindy's
I just
not
won't
that
say
bad.
anything. Or I would do that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh no, like, oh,
she's not that bad. She's not that bad. She's having a bad day and then exit.
Right. Because I don't want to create that confrontation. And shame on me. I really want to. I want to be more confrontational as I get older, and just stand up for things that I believe in and do away with the bad behavior. Yeah. But like, is it my job to teach people how to be?
That's what I was just going to say. No. You're not, again, that gossip is 100% about that person.
Exactly.
You're not. See, I always think I'm never going to change this person. It's like trying to tell somebody who to vote for. You're never going to change them. So what are you doing? Why are you saying, but this is it? You're not. I'm in. This is what I'm doing. Like I try because you're saying to them, you're too stupid to vote for who you want. I'm smarter than you. Vote for who I want. That's all. And again, that's not about you. It's about that person. Yeah. I'll never understand it. These families that are separating over politics, ridiculous.
It really is.
That's toxic.
That is toxic. But that is the world we are living in. And that is scary because it's getting worse. I feel.
So I told you, so I have a friend who is completely opposite. I love him. He's one of the greatest guys, completely opposite of how I think politically. Okay. And he saw a sign that I had and he came in and he said, okay, I'll just say it. It was about choice. It was a sign about choice, about women's choice, the right to choose.
Reproductive rights.
Yep. And he walked in and he goes, started talking about late-term abortion. And here's how I handled it. Because he's a very funny guy, and I was not going to have the fight with him because he'll never believe. This is what he wants. He'll never believe in
his mind.
I won't. So here's what I said. I go, Penny, name a 2-year-old that you even like. And he goes, he laughs so hard, and I go,
right,
late term, 2 years old. And of course I'm joking. Of course I'm joking. Know, right? But it defused the situation. It switched it around. And then we went and had, we went to fish fry. We went to fish fry. Like, I love him more than anything. He's a great guy, but I was not going to have that political discussion with him.
Exactly.
And so I made a joke out of it. And that's how it completely derailed.
And that's fine. And I am more than willing to
de-escalate,
talk, right? If you're going to talk like a normal human being, I will converse with you about politics if you can keep it at that level. But don't come at me.
Yeah.
And about what I believe in. No, I'm not going to do the same to you.
Yeah.
But all right.
Yeah. So the one thing about you too, though, is that and it's not a toxic trait. It's You have empathy.
I'm an empath for sure.
A lot of empathy. And that is lovely. And that's one of my favorite. That is hands down my favorite thing about you, that and your hair. No, but that's my favorite, and your outfit. That's my favorite thing about you is that you're so empathetic. You really are. And I would imagine that it can be draining. And I am, but less. Boy, I'm going to sound like a real bitch here. I don't mean it that. I have empathy, and in the moment, I have empathy, and I carry a lot of that with me. Like when I see somebody who's living on the streets, or a child who is in need, or, oh my God, a dog who's in need. I do carry that. It used to keep me awake at night, but it doesn't anymore because I can only do what I can only do. I hate that, but I want it. You can't change everything. You can't change the world. You can't.
I know.
You can in baby steps. But to take on that is hard. When it takes a chunk out of you, it'll take a piece of you.
Oh, and that hits right now, you know.
I know. Oh, I know, honey. I know you are the sweetest, kindest human. Here's the thing though, too, Michelle, you can also be the port in a storm for somebody. You're very good at that. And right now I feel like that's probably what people around you might need. And I know that's a lot to do, but you can be a quiet port in the storm too. You're not the type that has to be like, I'm like, Ma, listen to me. And you're like, just stop over and let's have a snack. You know?
Exactly. Like whatever I can do, I will do. And that's, you know, I try to let that person tell me, like, how can I best serve you at this time? Because I'm not going to just throw my stuff out on there, but I will, you know.
You also can't let it take chunks out of you.
I know. And
that's the hardest part. That's the hardest part. And if anybody has an answer to that, because I've done that too. Yeah. You've just let it take, and you look at it this way then. Here's a way that might be able to reason for you. You have to stay whole to help.
I know. And I do try to think, I'm like, you have to take care of yourself to take care of others. Right?
Yeah.
Self-care. I know you hate that, but
no, I don't know.
I'm trying, you try, but it's just life.
Yeah.
Like life be life and all the damn time.
I know it. I do feel like it's not, listen, I heard 2025 was supposed to be catch a break year.
It was supposed to be.
Maybe
it's not, but but in the same sense, like I also have to think about things like challenging times make for more strength and resilience and, growth. And, it's just getting that in your head. And the same thing with toxic people.
Yes.
You can't let the haters hate and let that bother you. Right.
But you can learn your business. But it is none of your business. And you can you can also learn from them, because I used to have to get my mouth involved in everything, and I still struggle with that. Like,
but I love that about you.
When I stood up in the airplane to help somebody,
I
said, I was not a doctor, and I said,
I don't even play one on TV.
I know it. I don't even know, but I do know CPR. But I have to know my limitations, and that's a lot. It's because I want to help you in a loud way. I got this, but sometimes it's better it's hard. It's hard. But, and it's sometimes I just say, I'm not available.
That's okay.
I know.
And that's right. Taking care of yourself and setting boundaries. And I am getting better. I was a disaster as a kid though. Like, every person, if they didn't, I was too distraught.
Plus, on top of it, this is kind of weird to say, as I've said this 100 times. Plus, on top of it, I had a weight, like I was a chunky kid.
Me too.
So I had a ton of stuff going. So I tried extra hard to get your love.
Right? I've got so much love to share. That's why I'm so big.
I know how I love you. I don't know. I just think sometimes talking things through like this helps too.
Well, I'm going to say, and I've said it a million times, this is my joy. Man.
One way to get rid of toxic people is do a podcast.
Just be able to just surround yourself with people you love.
Truth.
And right?
Yeah.
The more people you have around you love, the less space you have for the toxic asshole.
And if somebody's a taker, I give them 3 chances.
That's actually a lot.
I give them 3 chances. If they're a taker. The first time, okay, they were having a bad day. Second time, maybe I'm just being a dick.
All right.
The third time, nope, they are, I'm out.
That's
you have to, and I don't always break up with someone. I don't always have a breakup conversation. I used to let them mess it. I used to be such a jerk that I would ruin it so that they broke up.
Okay.
Sabotage. Yeah.
I live that life too.
Yeah.
Let me F this up the biggest way possible
so that
I can, then it's my fault. Then it's on me.
That's what, yes. And that's again, I know, but it takes a lot to get out of that. It takes a lot to not be like that. That's a lot of work too. That takes chunks out of you too.
Yeah. Those are poor life decisions.
We should have been laying on a couch during this.
Right? Therapy session.
This was good.
Charging like $150 an hour.
Yeah. We hope that we helped in some way.
That's why it's only 20 minutes.
I know it goes quick. I know.
$20 worth.
We hope that we answered some question. I don't know. We just rambled about idiots, but that's okay. That's what we do. Maybe we'll tackle it more.
Well, hopefully everybody can find their way to get rid of the toxic.
It's not worth it. Their love of you is somebody liking you isn't worth you. It's not worth you. It's not. If you need to get out and you can't listen, not everything's 50-50. You're not always going to get out. Right. I have a lot of friends who I give more than they do, but I love them. And that's just where I'm okay with it.
Scorecard, right?
That's there. Right. But when it's take. So
protect yourself.
Yeah.
Got one life.
All
Dear
right.
friend, thank you so much.
Thank you. This was great. I love you too. This was great.
So bring us some questions because otherwise we're just going to sit here and do this. And, this is fun and great.
And screw you. Don't listen then. No, listen. Next
subscribe,
week.
Like us.
Yeah. Subscribe.
Like us. Please. We like people to like us.
And on the next week's podcast, we got a guy who, we have a professional about sleep and wellness. Remember, we're going to talk to Aaron. So he's going to.
This is a listener question.
Yeah.
A dear friend of mine, Stephanie. You work mornings.
Yeah.
I worked mornings. She worked mornings. How'd you sleep last night? That is her question.
Lord.
And daylight saving happening. So this is a very timely one.
So that's next week. All right. Thanks.
Awesome. Thanks, friends.
Okay.
All right. 2 Michelles, 1 question. Follow us, like us.
Get rid of your a-holes.